just testing some new live stream equipment. Hello and welcome to the live stream. I'm just testing some equipment, but I think I'll just rant a bit and talk about some of the videos that I have coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on what women want the science edition. I think this is gonna be the first time that this has been done on YouTube. I don't even expect it to get many views, but I mean, I have it fucking scripted, so why not? But I have basically all the categories. Let me even create a table of contents for it. Yeah, this is gonna be like a monster video. Honestly, it's almost gonna be like a podcast. Oh, low volume. What about now? Charles, can you hear me? For whatever reason, there was like 4 different channels selected. Hello, hello. Yeah, I still. It seems like the volume's still low for whatever reason. Let me see. Let's see. Can't hear me. What about now? Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Much better. Okay. Yeah, it was toggled to -20 and now it's like 0. All right, let me know how it is right now. Also, let me know if it's too like loud. I guess I could look at my own stream, right? Let's see. Hey, testing the volume, seeing how things are. Hey, testing the volume, seeing how things are. That sounds great. Okay, cool. All right, thanks for the update. Yeah, I'm just getting my dude. I'm doing so much setup stuff. It's fucking annoying, dude. It makes me realize like how much momentum you need to like produce a lot of content and get your business in full swing and stuff. It's like there's like so many settings. I had to clear an SD card and then back all that stuff up on the NAS. I had to set the NAS up one day. Then I had to reformat the card, update my software, get the streaming stuff set up here. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to rant a bit about a couple of the videos that I have coming up to drop some value for you guys. Yeah, I'm trying to create like I think this is a decent background, but if you guys ultimately see this view, like looking this way, I think it's even better. So I think I'm gonna put my desk like right next to the TV over there, use the TV as like a monitor, put a standing desk there. I have to pick up the standing desk and then film this way. I think it looks like way better. But yeah, I want to get into the swing of creating content again. Yeah. Anyway, so let's pull up some stuff, and I'll just answer questions as they come up. So if you guys got any questions, I'm just here to kind of. The red seems too dark. Okay, I can turn on some. Let's see. All right. This is pretty good. Also, I don't have I mean, my light is right here, but I didn't bring my gigantic octabox to put on the light, and I don't have I do not have the stand for it yet. I mean, I do have this. This stand, I think, was going to be for my camera. My camera's right now on like a tripod. But hey, you know what? I do have this other light. Yeah, there we go. This might even look cooler. This off. And this on. Yeah, maybe something like this. Could be cool. Cool. All right. So first question, someone said, how did you work on your vibe? So what that means in the context of pickup is the kind of energetic expression of who you are and the personality that people are interpreting, how much they enjoy your company, all that stuff. I mean, the biggest switch really is caring about the other person's subjective experience and giving value. That's why I mean, I have a video on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's called Giving Value. I think it's the most, I actually don't know what the title is, but if you go to like 2024 Giving Value, it should be a part of my like launch sequence for game transformation. That is the most important video to understand about the vibe phase. And the reason why is people can pick up on your intent. So if your intent is to take from someone or to get something out of them, people immediately get tuned off to it, and it just feels weird. Like you can just sense it. So yeah. And women sense it even deeper because women have more interlobal communication in their brain. So women pick up on, their intuition is more finely tuned than men's intuition in terms of social, like understanding people's motives and stuff like that. Women just get it more. So if she can pick up on the fact that like either you hate women or you don't like her or you're just tolerating her or you're just trying to get sex or whatever, then they feel like this weird taking energy, and the whispers of 10,000 generations in their brain tell them, get away from this guy. Now, conversely, if you're there and you're genuinely have good intentions, you want to make sure the girl has a great time. Sure, you may want to fuck her. I mean, fucking a girl doesn't have to be taking, it can be giving, right? So if you have intentions of like, let's have a great night, this girl's going to win, I have so much value to bring to this girl, and then she feels that off of you, and she feels that you're like raising the emotional tenor of the interaction, then that's interpreted as a good vibe. And it's part of like being good at game, and it's the second phase of game. But yeah, it's super important. Like it does not matter how optimized your techniques are. If people genuinely don't like you and they feel like you just kind of weird them out, then there is no getting past that. So yeah, it's very essential. The other things are understanding why you may have some weird qualifying tendencies, over justifying yourself. These hint at lack of self-esteem. They hint at emotional, like childhood trauma, adolescent trauma. And if you don't understand those patterns, they're just going to keep recurring in your life, and you're going to drive more people away. So, yeah. said, I'm trying to work on being more fun. Watch my self-amusement series. I literally have the best series on the internet about how to be more fun around girls. So yeah, it's called Self-Amusement Guide. Hardest and easiest city you gamed in. So these questions, I actually was ranting about this in my community today, that basically everywhere in the world, there isn't that much of a difference. Women, like, keep in mind, so here's an example. I went to Thailand, which is one of the easiest cities to game in. I went to Bangkok, and then I went to Miami, where your competition is literal billionaires and famous people and every celebrity. I fucked like a girl that I would consider, honestly, she's like the hottest Asian girl she's definitely the hottest Asian girl I saw my entire month in Thailand. But she was, yeah, she was hot. And then I went to America and I fucked like a girl who has, 300,000 Instagram followers, like a Argentinian, like actress, dancer, model, singer, this type of chick. So, and I met them the same exact way, which is day game. So, like this idea of like, there's some place that's like fantastically easier and a place that's fantastically harder. You'll come to realize, I mean, I've gamed and dated in 50 different countries, over 50 different countries at this point. So you start to realize that like the cultural stuff doesn't really have that much of an effect. Women essentially respond to the same stuff everywhere in the world. Right. And taking this step further, I'm going to move it out of the dating context because it's a weird transition, but animals respond to similar things. If I talk to my dog in a sweet, nurturing, fun way, she's going to react in a positive, fun way. If I start yelling at her, she's going to get scared. Like the same kind of wiring. It's almost like if you go back to like a mammalian ancestry, like 50 million years ago or whatever, like we have the same wiring. Like, we respond to basically the same things. And then keep in mind that then there's primates, we're pretty similar to them. And then there's like, humans. And although we have adapted to every different environment in the world, we are largely just the same. Women respond to the same things again and again and again. This is why keep in mind, my channel is not that big. It's like 55,000. I think my channel rank in the world is like 2,400th or something. Like my channel will never get super popular because I talk about reality. No one wants to know about reality. People want comfortable truths. People want a simple narrative. If you guys come to me, the reason why I have the audience I have, that I get the clients that I have, is because you guys resonate with the truth. You guys resonate with nuance. You can think a little bit deeper. So that said, yeah, women are essentially, like when you understand the principles of how women work, you can get women anywhere in the world. I said this on the live stream the other day. I met women in El Salvador, which no one's even gone to really. I was like, honestly, I feel like I'm one of the first people. I don't know anyone else who's gone there. I brought 2 of my friends there. That was it. Anyway, so I met a girl. I literally had to rent a 4x4 Jeep and drive over a river and then drive like on these off-road, like bumpy horse roads to get to this chick's like house. And that's where I met her. Like, and I met her from online, but I met her in the fucking jungle. And that girl responded to the same things that a girl in a metropolitan city like New York City responds to. The wiring is basically the same. Now, you could say, oh, well, you might have to dress a little bit. All these things are like, think of laws, like what gives you the best bang for your buck, right? So why optimizing your fashion? Sure, that's great. Presentation is key, right? There's a reason why you can take a lobster and serve it at a lobster roll like food truck for $15. You can take the same lobster, present it differently on this plate, make you book a month in advance, and you'll pay, $50 for it, right? Presentation definitely matters. But like in terms of like the appearance and your clothes and how you optimize things like that. But dude, once you know what women want, it's so easy. Like you can get women no matter where you are, like no matter the context. I can meet women online, in person, through friend circles, through groups, because I know exactly how to sub communicate intent. I know what women want. I know how to give it to them. And that's why they crave me. That's why I have girls coming after me asking, like, every girl's trying to lock me down. If you can see, right there is a girl's purse. Why is she leaving her purse here? It's because she wants to be in my life. She wants to mark her territory, right? So, yeah, there is a element. Hold on. So the nuance basically is, sure, there's little differences in culture in different places, right? Certain countries, the dating market is different, but women ultimately respond to the same things. And if you're in front of a woman face to face, one on one, like she's in that experience with you. So women are basically largely the same. Um, yeah. Uh, cool. Anyway, I've been ranting for a while, so let's see what else. But yeah, and it's also interesting too, because like a place like El Salvador, dude, some girls take 5 to 7 dates to close. Like I'm literally like with a girl on our third date. She's at my house. Her her basement is flooded. Let's say she's horny as fuck, but because of her conditioning and like she's just worried about her reputation, you know, she might not want to have sex. However, there's other girls that fucked me the first night in El Salvador. So like, and it's the same thing in other places, right? So I don't know. I largely think that most places are pretty much the same, like 85, 90% the same. And then, you get people like hyping up these differences because they've only been to two places in their life or whatever. But yeah, when you do travel around a lot, you do get like a honed, like overall accurate representation of female nature in general. Yeah. Okay. When are you releasing your next immersion documentary? I have one filmed that was being edited, but the guy kind of like, dude, I need to find some good editors. Well, I mean, I do have some. I just have to transfer these things over. Anyway, yeah, I already have it filmed. It's like half edited, so I don't know. My next video I want to release is my life story and game video. I've been working on it for a couple months, so that should be an awesome video. It's like I think at this point there's like somewhere like 300 to 400 gigabytes of footage is going into this thing. It's like basically all my entire life story and game, everything that I learned along the way, the different like journeys that the journey that I went on, and like my battles that I had, my, dealing with, going for all the way from my depression and feelings of inadequacy to like building up confidence, doing my first approach, getting my mentor, having the wingman that I had. And yeah, I think it's going to be it might be the best video I've ever created because it shows you the entire journey that I went on and all the way where I started from. I have photos of everything. I have videos, field reports, and it's all going in the video. And what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to release a short one first and then just create the long one, because I feel like there is something that you get out of a video when it's like several hours long and like just so much evidence and proof and depth that you lose if you make it too short and too. It's kind of like, if you if you take a book like 1984 and then you say, hey, give me a 1-page summary of it. It's not the same as the book, right? So yeah, I want to release more in-depth content. And I realize that that's what my audience wants. My audience is not the dumb retard that needs like simpleton advice. Like, you guys want to understand the world, you want to improve yourselves, you understand that getting good at game, getting high quality women that are not only beautiful, that are not only, good in bed or whatever, they have the qualities that you want for the long term, right? They're loyal, they love you, they treat you well. I'll tell you a story recently. Man, I'm just so glad to date high IQ women. Here's an example. Like El Salvador, for example. I met a couple great girls there. Great people. However, one of the girls that I went to date with, I told her just hold the camera. I made the camera record. I made sure it was focused, pushed the button, and then whatever this chick did, she made it super out of focus. So one of the 100 tips to be a more attractive man, one of the tips I recorded on the beach there on this horse is blurry. So I had to go back and reshoot it. And then anyway, conversely, this one of the girls I'm seeing is so awesome. I mentioned to her that I need to improve my sleep, and I said, "Yeah, man, we should get some curtains for this room, like blackout curtains." And then I didn't tell her to do anything about it. I went to an ultimate frisbee tournament. As I'm coming back from the ultimate frisbee tournament, she sends me a video of her installing blackout curtains in my house, which means she found the size that we needed. She bought them. She went to the store, bought them, brought them back. And my ceilings are super fucking high. They're maybe 12 feet or 3.5 meter ceilings or something. So she comes back. She finds a way. There's no ladder. She finds a way to install the blackout curtains, puts them in. They look good. And I didn't even, and she films herself doing it and sends it to me. Dude, having girls that are capable is honestly, it's such a huge turn on. I don't yes, she's 10 years younger than me. She's beautiful, blonde hair, green eyes, actually, which is even more rare than blue eyes. And then she just has the best quality. She's fiercely loyal. She's amazing. She treats me so well. I just feel good around her. She has this, when you can be the opposite of a stripper energy, this dark, whole, broken home, then sexual misconduct. She is the opposite of that. She's this beautiful, pure spirit is how I would describe it. She I did a goal setting thing with her, or a value seminar with her. Because the same stuff that I give to my clients, I actually give to girls that I would date. And her goals were I just want to be such a beautiful person and treat everyone with kindness and always choose kind. It's oh, dude, I don't know. The femininity of women is I don't know. It's something else. Okay. Okay. You guys got me talking now. I'm the comments are flooding in and the my rants are getting more unhinged. How can I put things on the stream? Let's see. I don't understand. How has YouTube not found a way? If I pin this message, can you guys see it? It's just pinned in the chat. Okay, that's really dumb. And now I can't unpin it. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand how StreamYard can figure out streaming better than YouTube, but okay. Yeah, and my screen's so far away, I have to come in to see this chat. I just can make the text bigger. Let me just try Command+. Whatever. Now I don't even know what message I pinned because I can't see it. Okay, I'm just gonna read. How do you pick up the cashier at a grocery store? Don't you have to be different from the typical customer? Basically, I think these type of approaches, I think, are best done like further on in game. Like if you have to ask that question, it kind of means that you shouldn't be doing the thing. Like you shouldn't be picking up the cashier at the grocery store. Because in my mind, like basically you should be in flow with doing regular approaches before doing that, essentially. Because if I'm at the grocery store, I'm usually like with someone, I'm bantering, and then I just talk to people. I kind of like break people out of their autopilot. And I just do it because I talk to everyone. I talk loud. I talk confidently. I ask people how they're doing. I banter. I crack a joke. And then if you just do that, you are differentiated from 99.9% of customers. I wouldn't say 99.9. I'd say probably like 98% of customers. Most people that come in are like, hey, okay, thank you. Pay, go. Right? Have a good day. Bye. But if you walk in, you're like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, hey, nice glasses. Yeah, I've seen blah, 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 whatever. You know, you just banter. You're immediately out of, you have just differentiated yourself from the herd. And, you know, you lift their mood a bit and they notice that you're different. Yeah. And obviously, always stay hoe ready, which means like you dress well, you're showered, you're groomed, you don't smell bad. Like it is crazy. Very commonly, girls will tell me that guys just smell bad. Like it is really, when you think about it, a lot of like dating success is just stacking very basic things. It seems like a very complex task sometimes, but it's just doing very basic, simple things. And it's a high quantity of basic, simple things. So it seems complex, but it's really not. Like shower, work out, don't eat industrial sludge, like eat actual food. What else? Dress well, like have a job, be employed or have a business. Like all these things are quite basic, but you know, if you just like if I take the average person, I just go like people come to me for dating coaching and like they don't describe their problems accurately because people have blind spots, right? And that's fine. But, you know, people come to me, it's like they're out of shape, they're not wearing, like their fashion communicates that they're like out of the social loop, like they're not really thinking about what other people are going to be perceiving them like. You know, their vibes off. They never like say thank you to a waiter. Like, you know, a lot of these things are just so basic, but you know, we fall into different patterns in life and things are what they are. And sometimes, you know, I have my own blind spots. Everyone has their own blind spots. So, but it's just like by not like, for a while, I called my fashion not being retarded fashion. Basically, just like I wear clothes that are acceptable, right? Uh, if your style is really shitty, just get yourself to the not being a retard level, like not being an NPC. Then beyond that, then you can develop your own style. I don't know if you guys see some of my videos where like I like to wear these like kind of like a little bit more like I don't know edgy shirts, but like I just have my own unique sense of style. But yeah. Anyway, the styles, like I said before, it's not the most important thing, but basically signaling to someone that you care about their subjective experience, you're socializing with them in a fun, carefree, cool way. Cool meaning like you don't really care that much about the outcome and you're socially attuned to her responses. Then if you're just like getting an Instagram or something, then that's pretty chill and normal. Yeah, I actually did this pretty recently. When I was in Thailand, I got like a bunch of cashiers' numbers just for the fun of it, or their Instagrams. How do you balance being super relaxed and avoid being passive? So you want to be relaxed but engaged. So if you ever heard the guided meditation I do on YouTube, part of it I say you want to be fully relaxed but also fully engaged. And that's essentially like the best of all worlds. So you get relaxed through desensitization, right? And then you get engaged by self amusement or in just enjoying the process of game. Like part of like the amusement of game is like escalating, you know? Like no one is bored by uh making out with a girl. So you want to kind of balance intent and freedom from outcome, right? So you're like pushing and then you're pulling back and you go back and forth, make sure the girl's comfortable the whole way through it. And yeah. Uh Can you give advice on how to stop being afraid of your partner cheating in a relationship? So 90% of your success in a relationship comes down to selection. Um, like I've had some clients who like they desperately want to like bang like a stripper or something, and then they'll bang the stripper, and then they'll like, oh Austin, I want to keep her now. I banged her, she's so hot. And I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, it's gonna be like, I don't think that's a good girl for long term. They're like, oh, please just help me get my goal. I'm like, all right, well, you know, someone pays me, like I'll teach them how to do, you know, get their goal. But I will advise them on whether or not it's a good idea. Anyway, so like they'll get the stripper, like, oh fuck yeah, Austin, this is awesome. Like, this is the hottest girl I've ever got. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I'm starting to see her. And then it's like, then the wheels start turning, right? The whisper of 10,000 generations, which one of the top qualities that you want to look for in a girl is loyalty. Why? Because men do not have certainty of paternity, right? Women have certainty of maternity. If a woman gives birth to a child, she knows it's her own. If a woman gives birth to a child, you don't know it's your child. So how do you know? You increase the probability by getting a girl who's loyal, a girl with a low body count, a girl who's younger, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So selection is the main thing. If you don't select the right person, it's going to be a nightmare. Yeah. The other thing is I give my girls explicit instruction on how to behave when a man approaches them. So like, what do you want your girl to say to a guy if he approaches her? Tell her to say that and train her to do that. The other thing is, you know, if you're meeting a woman's needs, she doesn't have a desire to cheat on you, right? If you make a girl feel loved, if you fuck her brains out, if you, you know, you're there for her, you listen to her, you spend time with her, you give her attention, you know, you make her feel special. You don't get sloppy and lazy. You don't lose your masculine edge. You keep hitting the gym. You keep doing the things you enjoy. You know, you train, you lead her. You keep the relationship going well. Like there's no reason for her to cheat. Why would a girl who chose to be with you want to cheat on you if you're fulfilling her needs? So yeah, and ultimately it comes down to also selection. You know, if you choose the wrong girl, you know, a girl who's a psychopath and a narcissist and crazy, even if you meet all her needs, she will probably be loyal. However, if you start to deviate even a little bit, that's when things can go wrong, right? So basically, you want to have both on your side. Does that make sense? You choose the right girl, you have a good communication style, so that way any problems that come up, you can use the raw format. Actually, I should make that YouTube video. Raw for communication video. That's like a concept I've explained so many times, and it would be a really good YouTube video. You know how to talk through your problems, and then also you meet all of her needs. So you meet all her needs, you chose the right girl, and you communicate any rough patches. Like, there's no reason. Women want to be loyal to a man that they respect. That's literally, their brain is wired to do that. So yeah. How do I know if I'm dripping too hard with my fashion style? I don't know, bro. Yeah, Charles, like that's a good sign that you care about other people's subjective experience. Like, yeah, like that's a big indication of, yeah, like if you're past the vibe phase, to be honest. All right. Sometimes the girls I date say I'm too mean to them. Actually, I'm trying not to be like that and give her compliments, etc. How to fix that? That would require like hours of conversation with you to understand, because that could be like 10,000 things. That's like a symptom. I don't know. It could be you do have a high percentile of psychopathy, or maybe a moderate, which in that case that you can't fix it. You can only just like tell people about it and maybe take some classes to manage it. Or it could be that you're like belittling them to, as a strategy to decrease their self-esteem, so that way they perceive your mate value as higher, so that you can contain them and like keep them. Yeah. Or it could just be how you were talked to growing up. I don't know. It could be a bunch of things. All right. How did you establish a short-term relationship you have? You game, then you fuck, then you act cool after sex, then you invite them to something else, or they indicate that they want to go and do other things with you, and then you date them. What boundaries do you cross to make sure they don't want long-term? Every girl that, I'd say not every girl, but basically almost every girl that you will date short-term is thinking about the potential of long-term with you. You know, maybe I'd say maybe 20 or 30% aren't, but a decent percent are giving you an opportunity to be with them long-term, and they desire that. So yeah, you could just set up like a once a week thing. All right, it's getting too late. I think I'm gonna turn this light off, and I'm gonna do like not too many more. How do you go from he's fun to talk to I don't want to leave him? But a lot of these questions are just like time. Like, you spend enough time with someone. Also, it's the person who you are. You know, if you're replaceable, women don't want you to never leave. You know, but if you're someone who she respects and she's attracted to and she likes being with, then you spend enough time with her, and then attachment happens. So, yeah. Yeah, there's three brain phases for love. It's romance, or sorry, lust, romance, attachment. Okay, so this is like just scientifically how you fall in love. So yeah, and these take time. Unique traits you see in a woman that would be hard to find and highly desired. Well, in the West, like a low body count is quite difficult to find. Um, but yeah, I would say that. Um, Unique traits. I mean, each girl has every person on earth really has like some unique gifts in some way, you know? So, like I've met girls that are just like amazing at dancing. uh my current girl is like an awesome singer. So like almost every night when she's here, like I'll play guitar and she'll sing and we just like play music together. So it's like really awesome. Um yeah. Does size matter or is it the motion in the ocean? So again, like a tier list type of thing, the most important thing really is a girl's arousal level, which is primarily psychosexual. And funny enough, like I'll give you a funny example of this. So like this Colombian girl I had, she she would tell me she's like, I like that you like rough sex, but you know, sweet romantic sex is also great. And like I was like, okay, so let me test this theory. So the next time we had sex, I would I was just being like very sweet, romantic, I was like, let me see and then I like reach down and like her pussy's dry and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, of course." And then, then I start just being more rough or being more dominant and whatever and then she gets turned on. So, you know, uh my point with this is that women psychosexually get turned on by different things and that arousal leads to obviously that this was just like lubrication example, but she it leads to like more orgasms. It leads to her being like more excited and more enjoying the experience. So the first thing would be that. Um, yeah. And keep in mind, like once you understand like sex, pickup and game becomes super easy because you can just do a lot of the stuff that you do in sex, like while talking. So you can describe certain things, you can explore certain themes. What do women like in bed? Well, a lot of them like to be told what to do, right? I've been complimented so much on that. Oh, I like that you tell me what to do and that like you make me change positions, you lead the whole time. So same thing in game. Lead, occasionally command, tell her what to do. Like speak in an authoritative way. Like all these type of things are attractive in game. So like it's all part of like the mating dance, right? So when you start and the better you get at communication, it improves your sex, right? So they both kind of go hand in hand. Like girls will often tell me they'll say specifically they're like you are so emotionally intelligent. And it's because I've trained myself over like a decade to understand women's subjective emotional experience, know how they're responding to certain things. And that plays into sex as well. So yeah, I'd say I don't really have the tier list in front of me or whatever, but I would say like most important would be like actually let me write this down. Or let me just think. It's like yeah. So like dominance would be like number one. Raw sexual desire. So man, see, this is another one of these like most people are just not doing the basics. So it's like, how do I what I tell you? But like even saying something like raw sexual desire beating technique. If you're unhealthy, which most people are, if you're not like if you're just eating a bunch of industrial sludge and like grains and seed oils, you're not going to be healthy. You're not going to have optimal testosterone. If everything you drink out of is plastic and plastic bottles and everything's plastic, Your balls are going to be smaller. You're going to have microplastics in your balls. It's going to like estrogenize a lot of your, aromatize your testosterone. You're going to have low testosterone. Most people are overweight. They have too much fat. So then their testosterone's bad. Testosterone and libido have a huge correlation. Yeah, and then on top of that, like take supplements like maca, horny goat weed, zinc, chelated zinc with copper, and then vitamin D with vitamin K2. If you do all that, then your sexual desire is going to be like pretty intense and like, the golden rule of game, whatever you feel, she feels. So yeah. And then if you know how to escalate, make girls feel comfortable while you're doing things. And then on top of that, like add in like the layers of BDSM or role play or exploring different themes that, a girl might be into, then it gets even better. And then for boners, like your erection quality is huge. Actually, the most important thing for your dick is your cardio. Your penis is mostly made of blood-filling tissue. So if your heart can't pump blood very well and your endothelial system is all fucked up from doing fucking what do all these faggots do? Like Zins, vaping. Like if you're doing nicotine, you're effectively causing like endothelial damage. You can shrink your penis up to about a half an inch, which is like 1.5 centimeters. You also fuck up your erection quality. So a lot of the penile health stuff is super important. Like things you could do to improve your erection quality. Number one would be improve your cardio. And now it's super, like, imagine you're doing all the stuff that you're already doing in life, but now you have to do cardio on top of it. It sounds really annoying, but a really fun way to do it is actually just play a sport. It makes you less neurotic too. You don't have to be like, oh, I need to get 14 minutes of zone 2 cardio and then zone 1 and then zone 3. It's like, dude, if you just play a sport, you do like all of those. You do like really intense activity, then you walk, and then you jog, and then you sprint. Sprints increase testosterone too, like and growth hormone. So like, yeah, just play a sport, get really good cardio, or do something you enjoy, like maybe going for a run or biking. And yeah, and then another thing you should do is get a vacuum pump. So you just get a dick pump, and then just start off with like, maybe 4 what is it called? Milligrams of mercury. Anyway, I would just pump up to like -4, and basically for erection health, you can literally just do that like once a week, and improves actually causes what's it called? Vasoneogenesis. Is that correct? It creates the birth of new blood vessels. It also pulls more blood into your like capillaries, so you end up just getting better erection quality, and actually increases your size a bit too because of the erection quality gains. Yeah, I didn't realize, but I think my dick shrank like half an inch from just over the course of my life since I was like in puberty or whatever. And then after using the vacuum erection device, my length went up like point. Actually, let me check. I think it's just 0.4 inches. It's like maybe like 1.5 to 2 centimeters, something like that. No, yeah, it'd be like 1.5 centimeters, maybe 1.4, something like that. But yeah, and it's good for your health too. Like penile health is actually quite important. Yeah, and then above that, like you can increase your size a bit, but yeah, like penis size definitely matters. Like your dick is going in a vagina. It's the pressure on the walls of the vagina that she mostly feels. Some girls, this is why people are like, oh, length, dude. I have like the longest. I have like a top 1% length dick, and I would say that less than like maybe 10% of girls really like deep vaginal penetration, because it hits this like spot you have to do it in certain positions, but like it hits this like spot and then you just kind of like massage it in there. And some girls can come from just like deep penetration, but like it's like the minority. Most girls are prefer just like the girth stuff. Honestly, to be honest, most girls just prefer you fucking them with a vibrator. Like best way to get girls off is like fucking them and using a vibrator. Like turn them on like fucking crazy, do all the kinky shit to get them off. Um and then use a vibrator and it's like, dude, it's easy mode. I'd recommend the uh Hitachi magic wand. Super good. Yeah, exactly. Says the Hitachi wand is too big. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, people that talk about things like this, I'm like girls literally use it. What are you saying is too big? It's too big for your hands? What are you saying? Like, oftentimes you just put your girl on missionary, give the vibrator to her, put it on the clip, put on like setting number 2. It's like super easy. How to expand emotional range? Watch the self amusement guide video, and see all these topics you guys are bringing up. This is why I can't do like regular dating advice. Like they do make the mini wand, but the mini wand isn't as like the head of it is not as good. The mini wand is good for travel though. Um, Pretty good. But the bigger one's just better, dude. It has more settings too. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Uh, dude, there's so many questions. I was gonna say that a lot of these topics deserve like 40-minute. Like, how do you expand emotional range? Like, do you? I feel like probably I do the same thing in fields that I don't know about, so I can't be too harsh. But like emotional range, that's so many things. It's like your expressiveness, your genetics play a role in that, your upbringing, how your parents treated you, like your race. What else plays a role in that? Like, were you told to shut up, like in school? Are you like, how high status are you? What your body size is? Like a person who is super big, you know, it feels like weird if they're too expressive because their presence is already so much. And then a person like my buddy Justin Mark, who's like 5'4", you know, he can be extremely dynamic and loud and expressive, and it doesn't seem weird, right? So yeah, stuff like that. It's just like that's when you need coaching because like I would need to talk to you and figure out what's going on. So if anyone listening wants uh, one-on-one coaching, go to awesomesummers.com/mentorship or immersion. I started doing some one-on-ones as well. So if you want me to coach you one-on-one in person, last one I did was in Miami. Went out for 4 days, this guy, and just brought him to the best places, helped him meet girls, got him on some dates. Yeah. And like, yeah, if you want the fastest possible way to learn, that would be it. Like I'm literally just winging you, customize everything to you, but cool. So yeah, awesomesummers.com/mentorship or awesomesummers.com/immersion. What do you tell your girls to say when a man approaches them? See, stuff like this, I mean, it really depends on what your limits are and how you feel. I have a different thing than my buddy David and et cetera. So like part of what I do tell girls to do is hand them my business card and say, check out this guy's YouTube channel. He's my boyfriend. Is there someone recording our infields if you're winging us in the boot camp? Yeah, if I do, I do immersions, so like 7-day programs, pretty intense. Then I have a camera guy for that usually. If I'm doing a one-on-one, I usually record it myself. It's easier for me to listen in. And then I review the footage afterward. We just play it back and forth and see, we take all the lessons out of it. And then we just repeat that over the course of the entire program. We go back to doing consulting calls. Yeah, I do. I have them on my website on the contact page. Um, if you're not a high status man, dress like you are. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, just on that topic, uh, you want to resonate with your future self and pull it closer to your reality as soon as possible. So, uh, yeah, love him or hate him. To be fair, no one hated Elon Musk prior to him getting involved in politics, but you guys know how it is. As soon as someone goes on the other side of politics, then everything goes how it is. But yeah, he basically everything he does, he just compresses the time on it and gets it done faster and finds a way, right? So if your future self is good with girls, think what would that future self do? What would he act like? What would he dress like? What would he be like? Maybe even find like a celebrity or a character or whatever that you resonate with and you want to be like in terms of like being good with women or even a real life person. And try to resonate with them and think about in times of your life where you were like that person or what you would like to be most about them. What about them you would most like to be like? It's kind of a hard thing to express. What qualities of that character or that person do you respect the most and want to have as a part of who you are? And then just compress your time to get there and think, what are the steps I need to take to get there? And most people aren't even at that because there's just so many self-limiting beliefs and trauma responses and self-doubt and self-attacking and low self-esteem and low momentum, bad environment, bad diet. So it's like, dude, crawling out of that is like crawling out of like a fucking mud pit. So yeah, you basically have to figure out like what are the biggest levers to pull and then do them. Like honestly, one of the biggest levers for most of you guys would be like changing your diet. If your brain can't fucking work, well, then yeah, it's not gonna work. Big bro, do you use any peptides? So, dude, I want to get into using them. Actually, one of the main ones I want to get is CJC 1295. Is that it? You see. I was literally asking some people about peptides advice, and then I realized that I'm literally in a community for peptides. I've been paying like $5 a month for this peptide community for like 6 months, and I haven't even like gone through it. So now I'm going through it. Yeah, it's like ipamorelin and CJC 1295. Yeah, dude, I'm like my brain remembers weird shit like that. Like, good luck, I'll remember like some fact about a girl's life or something, but I'll remember CJC 1295. So my like dad's engineering background coming through there. But yeah, I've been looking into them because the CJC 1295 improves your sleep too. Like I want to just optimize my sleep. My biggest sticking point in life truly is my deep sleep. Like getting enough deep sleep is just the biggest sticking point in my entire life. So if I can optimize that, like I can do anything. Like when I get enough sleep, dude, my brain is like, my IQ is like fucking 300 when I get enough sleep. When I get not enough sleep, it's like basically the entire day, my brain doesn't work until about like 10 p.m. And then I like get this spike of like creativity. I like wake up like a lame cow in the middle of a road sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, I did like a couple deep research and like some AI agent stuff on this, scouring the internet for the science. And yeah, they're pretty much you hit a lot of it. Like magnesium, yeah, I take magnesium 3 and 8. The crosses the blood-brain barrier. What I need to get is I need to start taking collagen before bed again because collagen has glycine, or I could just take glycine itself. Something about taking the what's it called? The collagen, I think, might actually be a little bit better because it's enough food. Might be, I don't know. And then 8 sleep cools your body. Like, yeah. The thing is, my place here is pretty cool. Like, it's about 17 degrees Celsius here all the time. It's just like maybe 66 degrees. melanotan is amazing for pale skin guys like me. Not try anything else. Yeah, it's cool. I've stuff like I don't know, man. Some of these things have like side effects that I'm kind of worried about. Um, like I also don't like the idea of injecting myself. It just feels weird. I don't know if that's a good part of life is injecting yourself every day. So if I can try these other things before doing that, then that'd be cool. But I mean, if I could get more muscle mass, like that'd be sick, dude. I'm like 80 kilos at like 178 centimeters. So it's okay, but not great. I do weighted pull-ups with 15 kilograms, and I do. Sometimes I do 20 kilograms. Getting back on my grind now, but I traveled for like a month and a half straight. I went to Thailand, then Europe, then I went to Cyprus, and then back to Northern Europe, then back to Tampa, then Miami for coaching, and then Ireland for immersion. Yeah. What happened to the freedom units? I've slowly been switching over my stuff to just a metric system because everyone around me uses the metric system. So, but yeah, my weight is like 178 pounds. Yeah, I'm 178 centimeters. It's like 5'9.5", something like that. Fahrenheit is superior. Thoughts on finasteride? I'm taking about. Yeah, I've just heard of so many stories of people like fucking up their libido and also getting like depression from it and stuff. So, yeah, I don't. I need to like do a deep dive on hair stuff and like just get like the optimal strats to give to people. But that is one part of my genetics that is just like amazing. Is my grandpa is like 85 and he has hair, and my dad is like 60 and he has hair. So, yo, my man, do you still cold approach? Yeah, bro. Do you check my Instagram? Follow me on Instagram, guys. Who in the chat can talk about what I was posting when I was in Thailand and El Salvador and even Europe? Also, dude, I was posting fucking like I was approaching like in what's it called? In Ireland like a couple of weeks ago and posting stuff. And also what's it called? In Miami. You were approaching in Thailand? You were approaching in Thailand? That's the question. Yes, I did. I just met a bunch of dates. No, dude, the hottest girl I banged in Thailand was from Day Game. I did do a bunch of dates from online, but who did I meet from in person? Dude, I met a girl with like huge tits in person, and I met the hottest girl that I saw the entire trip, Day Game, in a grocery store inside of a mall. What do you think about Accutane? Have you ever used it? So my whole philosophy with this stuff, so whenever in life you're trying to look for like a hack or shortcut, typically it's like a fool's errand. You want to focus on just creating the principles, doing the principles first. So like with business, what are the principles? Have a good offer, drive traffic to the offer, satisfy your customers so they keep coming back, or they refer their friends, right? Anything outside of that is like extra, and that's stuff that you can do afterward, right? But like an example would be for dating would be like, approach, get numbers, follow up with them, write field reports, get a wingman, go out consistently. Stuff like this is like the basics. Be very careful because your brain has a really bad bias in it where it's like this, like, I'm curious what the actual name of the bias is because it's kind of like this shiny object or like magic pill. What is the name of the psychological bias that people have where they want a magic pill or an easy hack, and they prioritize that over basic fundamental principles of success in every field. Okay, present bias. Presence for immediate rewards over long-term. Shiny object syndrome, law of least effort. Yeah, I mean, your brain typically gravitates toward the law of least effort. And then, yeah, effort heuristic. Normally, people assume outcomes require more effort Normally, people assume outcomes requiring more effort have higher value. The inverse occurs to individuals who rationally overweight low effort, high reward solutions. Low effort, high reward. Yeah, exactly. People irrationally overweight. So people irrationally assume that low effort, high reward solutions are like kind of like completely change their life, right? Yeah, yeah, wanting a shortcut basically. And it's like the things that really get people results, like in game, people come on immersion, and then obviously it radically transforms their life. One of the best things they get out of it is a community of people that they can share stuff with and go out with. A lot of my immersion students, after they finish immersion, they'll get into a house. Like most of them will get into like a pickup like house together, and they'll just be like in immersion mode for like 3 to 6 months and go hardcore. And like somebody like that is just so profound. Like your environment that you shape around you is amazing. Dude, hi, I am new. Dude, like, why are you so fucking autistic that you have to write 4 things? Shut up. I'm gonna remove this man. Put user in timeout. Goodbye. Okay. But yeah, where was the thing that I got on this tangent on? Yeah, like Accutane. So you want to get on Accutane for your acne, right? Have you considered fixing your diet? Have you considered like getting better sleep? Have you considered, the primary cause of acne is hormonal. So if your hormones are fucked up, you're going to have acne. So if you're eating low quality dairy, if you're eating tons of processed carbohydrates, you're eating bread, you're eating a lot of chips, you're eating cake, you're eating candy. If you're eating a ton of bullshit, your gut is going to be fucked up and inflamed. Your hormones are going to be fucked up, and then you're going to have acne. So I'm a big proponent of like, why don't you do the natural solutions first that are basically free and holistic? And then you can think about adding other things on top of that, right? So I do think, I'm all for using the best of the old with the best of the new, but the idea of like eating fucking industrial sludge and then like trying to cover up the symptoms of that, like here's the root cause, industrial sludge, here's your acne, and then you're like, oh, let me just treat the symptom. Why don't you treat the root cause first, and then you probably won't need to pay extra for the Accutane. So that's what I think. And then if you eat animal-based diet, pulsatile, animal-based, and your acne for whatever reason doesn't clear up, and maybe even try like something like keto or carnivore or whatever, and your acne doesn't clean up, then try Accutane. But until then, experiment with your diet, improve your diet. How did you filter the scams from Tinder? I understand women, so I don't fall for any scams. Anytime something weird happens, I just delete, block. And I also get girls on, I get them off of Tinder onto WhatsApp. I do video calls, I do calls, and I can talk to them. I get 2 forms of contact. I get Instagram and WhatsApp. and like it's so easy to spot like a fucking scammy, shitty Instagram. And same thing with yeah, like and on a phone call, like I can talk to someone and see if they're a normal person, right? I can get a gist. Uh, are you living entirely off of coaching cash? Yeah, I've been for the past 12 years. I have been a dating coach. So yeah, I'm currently ranked the number one in the world for day game. So that's something. Um, yeah, when you're the best in the world at something, people like to pay you, especially when it's something valuable like increasing someone's what's it called? Uh reproductive success. Do you get a lot of pushback from girls when going on first date pulls like I'm not the type of girl or too soon or even night game? Uh not really. I mean, occasionally. I would say if I were to give you I'd say I close probably 90 to 95% of girls the first day. In really, really, really traditional cultures, maybe that goes down to like 70, 80%. But yeah, like I said, most girls are the same everywhere in the world. So yeah. Okay. Someone you said running ads seems overrated. Approaching is the way. Yeah, I mean, running ads is a way. I mean, I met a really hot girl in the hottest girl I met in El Salvador was from one of my ads. So yeah, I ran an Instagram ad and then she just responded to it. We met up and she was, she told me, now I largely believe this based on her behavior. She told me she only has sex with one person. And this girl is like stunning, like Instagram model type of thing. Unfortunately, she was too much of like an influencer type. It was kind of annoying. She was like constantly recording TikToks. But yeah, and it depends what culture you're running it in. It honestly doesn't depend on the culture. You know what it depends on is your ad spend cost. In a place like El Salvador, who the fuck is advertising in El Salvador? And if they are, the ad spend is really cheap. So I don't know if I could look it up right now. Let me see what it costs me to get a certain amount of impressions. Let's see. Instagram. But whatever, like for like $10, $20, I get like 300 DMs or 200 DMs or something. It's like pretty crazy. It is very interesting too. Like El Salvador, in terms of like SMV, I would say I'm probably top 1% for that country, just everything included. But because it's so new, like, dude, the only tourists that ever went to El Salvador were basically surfers, and they were like, they just stayed at the beach and they were kind of scared. So, like, if you go to some cities in El Salvador, like, you're like one of the first like travelers that they've seen. They'll, like, you get stared at. It's very interesting, but it's almost like it's too new. Girls haven't talked too much about their experiences with foreigners, so it's like you're just kind of like this interesting weird thing, and like only girls that are more open-minded are like open to it. Like a lot of girls they're kind of like a little bit, they got a little bit of sales resistance, because it's just like such a new concept. It'd be like it's almost like trying to get someone to buy like like the first part of the internet, like trying to get someone to buy like, for example, Tesla. I bought my Tesla online. Can you imagine convincing a boomer in like 1995, like, hey, submit your payment online with your credit card. Give your credit card information to this internet site. Like, good luck. So it kind of is a little bit of that. Uh, what content have you received more reciprocity from girls? I'm tired of dating South America. I mean, South America is easy mode. Well, it depends where. Chile is pretty easy. Argentina is like normal. Colombia is like ultra easy. Yeah, depends where. But again, like I said, Just go places and try things. You'll get a lot of experiences. It'll be fun. You don't need to hear from me where the secret good spot is. Like, I've gate kept a couple places and then I'll share it with someone and then they don't even like it. So it's like, uh, yeah, you're going to find like, I would say this, make a short list of places you want to go and then, just book like short trips there or research more, get even a shorter list, and then, take a trip there for a little bit and see how you like it. Like, flights are not that expensive. We live in a really good time. If you want to fly around the world, you can do it pretty cheap. Just go on Google Flights, go into the Explore function, and say, I want a 1-week trip sometime in the next 6 months, and it'll give you the cheapest possible week for that. So, yeah. Buff Sky says, I'm always wary of dorks that want to hack the system. Yeah. By the way, when you approach, do you think about what you're going to say beforehand? No. So this is called the control dynamic. The way you get really good at game, and also the way you get really good at just dealing with your own emotions and dealing with life, is called the release or the letting go dynamic. So if I'm trying to, if I were to give you a script of exactly what to say, problem is you're dealing with human beings. The script's going to deviate. It's going to be fucking weird if you try to like keep forcing it back on that thing. The best approaches you will ever have are when you're in the moment, you're joking around with your friends, or you just came out of another interaction, and then you see a girl and you don't even think. You just like, words come out of you. And the thing is, when you're in the control dynamic, you don't have access to the divine flowing through you through this like release valve. So when you like let go, the divine kind of flows through you. This is an analogy, right? I don't know if I actually believe this, but I don't know if I believe the divine's flowing through you. What I do know is that if you're trying to control everything, you really like bottle stuff up and you don't let things go. So another way to say that is like when the bar for what's good enough to say is too high, you cut off so much that you could say that would be good enough. And keep in mind, most girls are not maximizers. Most girls are sufficers. Anything that you say that's good enough to start the conversation is pretty much good. Day game, if I can't think of what to say, I just have my default open and then I just go from there. But I almost always just do that open, but I customize it to the situation that I have just because it fucking works every single time. But yeah, night game, basically never, dude. I just free flow. I've heard people say that my game is like the most, like when people go out and game with me, they're like, I have the most just like fully improvised game they've ever seen. Because when you develop the skill set of game that I teach, you can adapt it to any situation. So you're on in every situation. You can free flow with anyone. You can connect with anyone. You can lead it forward. You don't need to think about what to say. You don't need to have a structure. I have a structure, but you don't need to have like a default, like I need to say this, or I can't think unless I have the, And obviously I give you guys some training wheels to get started, but like, if you want to get really good at game and you want to have the best that you can be, you want to be the best that you could be in game and get the best results that you can get, the answer is not like more thinking. It's less thinking. It's, and the words of the Zoomers, it's retard maxing. Okay. Any ways to warm up to get into a fun social mood before going out? For day game, I have a whole warm-up guide on my YouTube channel. Okay. Is running ads overrated? I don't know. I wouldn't even say it's overrated because most people don't rate it at all. Most people don't even know that you can run ads to meet girls. I would just say it depends on who you are. Like when I started running ads in like 2018, it worked for the purposes of like getting girls to parties. When I ran ads later, like I ran ads last year a lot and just for like one-on-one dates, and it was good. And I met the hottest girl in one of the countries I used it in. but it depends what country you're in. I would say largely in like a high ad spend country, it's going to be overrated. But in like other countries, it's fucking sick, dude. It is quite good. It's a lot of messaging and a lot of filtering. That's the part I would say is overrated. Is you spend a lot of time on your phone, and like the only way really to manage this is you have to like hire someone to like screen out your girls. Or you know what, the one thing that might actually make it super underrated now is these AI customized Instagram bots. Like, you got, if any of you guys talk to like a famous creator on Instagram and you think you're talking to that person, you're kind of dumb. Like, most of the time you're talking to either an AI chatbot or you're talking to like a team of people they have to manage their DMs. So if you can figure out how to get a team of people to manage your DMs, which you can do on Go High Level, or you could do it through Facebook's Meta Business Suite, if you add them in, or if you get like, you have AI customized to your like texting style, or at least the first 5 messages. So for example, it would come like this. So you send out the ad, you know, let's say 10,000 girls see the ad and you get maybe like 200 DMs. Then it would send them an automated message. They would reply, and then you have like a preset like response to that seems natural. And then like maybe after 3 messages, then it gives you a notification, tells you to take over or whatever. That would be good. And then you can actually train these AI chatbots over time to message in the style. You can train them on your own messaging style, and then it'll just like continue conversations with girls, and then you can just like take over when you want to. So that's when I think ads would be pretty underrated. But yeah. Any tips for finding wings in your city? Yeah. Join my course, gametransformation.com. Game transformation. I'll just put it in the chat. Gametransformation.com. This is if you actually want to get wings and get better at game. If you don't, just avoid it. It'll not be complementary to that goal. But if you do want to get good at game, join Game Transformation. Huge thing about it, we have people everywhere in the world. You will get wingmen to go out with. When you have wingmen to go out with, that means you're going to go out twice as many days as you will alone, maybe even more. You'll approach twice as many girls and you'll have twice as much fun. So the people who get really good at game almost always have great wingmen because it makes game fun. They have someone to banter with. They have someone to support them if they get, you know, if they feel bad or a rejection happens or whatever. And they have people to reflect with, people to grow with, people to have the right mindsets when it comes to women. Yeah. So you say, it seems like you were skeptical of the Thailand is over talk. Yeah. I even interviewed this guy for my course when he was like, he was telling me that like, oh, Thailand's so much harder now. It's impossible. And then I come to find out that that guy, he like only does online, and he has like he's kind of like in the full red pill retard space where he's just like, it's just these 3 characteristics that women want, and like everything else is, you know. So this guy wasn't actually good at game. And yeah, you know, when I went there, dude, I got basically what happened was online you get about maybe a half or a third the same, half or a third the volume as what you got before. So when I used to go to Thailand, it would be like I get 100 to 150 matches a day. Now when I go to Thailand, I get, you know, maybe 40, 50, 60 matches a day. So it's like, it's still more matches than I can deal with. So what the fuck do I care? You know, it's like, Austen, you know, I used to drink 3 gallons of water a day, but now I drink 2 gallons of water. It's like, okay, you're still getting enough water. So I don't know. What happened to Justin Mark? Long story short, I don't want to. Basically, there's certain people going after like the nightlife industry in Canada right now, and they're like trying to like fuck him over essentially. Like I know Justin personally, and this dude has an abundance of girls. Like, dude, I was at Justin's house once, and his girlfriend and him had like a five-some with like three other girls, and it was Justin, his girlfriend, his fuck buddy, and then his two porn star friends that are both girls. Like, this guy is not in a place where he's desperate for women. Like, he basically mostly just chills with his girlfriend. So whatever, long story short, some girl made some allegation, and then they're using that to like take down part of the nightlife industry. He's targeted, but there's other people that are being targeted. It's bullshit, of course. But that's the price you pay in this niche. This niche is unforgiving. Like, most of the people in this niche, if we did anything else, we would have like 100 times the money. We're in this niche because we enjoy it. It's fascinating. Me personally, I'm fascinated by this niche. The only other thing I think would be as fascinating would be some kind of like scientific research, some like nature preservation, or like maybe food, because food is culture, history, art. It's also like, what you consume. It's so much in one thing. And that's kind of how I think about dating too. It's like dating is your inner world, it's your outer attractiveness, it's your charisma, it's like a skill set. I always say this game is like an art, a science, and a sport, right? It's a sport. You got to put in the reps. You got to go train. It's a science because there's just basic principles that anyone can learn and apply. And then it's an art form because you have to learn how to use the emotional tenor of the interaction. You know how to lead. You know how to make things like it's dynamic in the moment. Like, it's just like beautiful art form as well. So yeah, it's like infinitely complex and interesting. It's like I can go into evolutionary psych. You give me any topic, I can go in evolutionary psychology. I can go into like just basic psychology. I can go into my personal experience. I can go into the experience of thousands of my clients and what I've seen. Like, the thing you guys don't realize, my ideas about game, why they work and why they make so much sense, is because they are filtered through multiple lenses. I've gamed in 50 countries. I've had, at this point, like close to 1,500 students. When I'm out with people in real life, I see every single type of guy approaching. I film it. I analyze it afterwards so I can understand what it was actually happening. So anyway, it's really interesting to me. So I could basically, I could, people ask me like, well, what are you going to transition into after dating coaching? Probably nothing, dude. This is like, I think it's so interesting. Cool. Let's see what else we got. But yeah, I was skeptical of the Thailand is over talk. And after being in Thailand, like, I feel like I fucked hotter girls now than I did when I was there before. But to be fair, I have changed. I haven't improved since the last time I was there. Although last time I was, in terms of Asian girls, I fucked the hottest Asian girls the last time I was there. But the previous time, like 2017 or 2018 when I was there, I did fuck a really, really hot Swedish girl who had like one of the best asses of all time. So, you said, but what if you're just emotionally exhausted from mass effort with little to no reward, and your nervous system is just tired and sees more action as a threat? Yeah, that's literally a basic response to it, right? So the biggest source of what's it called? Friction, or one of the main sources of friction. What is the actual term for this? Like an internal conflict, or the biggest source of friction is not getting the results that you want, right? It's feeling like it's pointless, right? So, but most people, like, if you're with most things in life, it's not do more effort of the same dumb stuff. It's take effort and then learn from it so you don't make the same mistakes in the future. If you have, the definition of learning is same situation, different behavior. So if you go into the same situation and your behavior hasn't changed, you haven't learned anything, you've just wasted time and effort, right? So that's why I get coaching and I buy courses for everything. Someone's asking me about peptides. I'm in a peptides course, right? I'm learning another language right now. Do you think I'm trying to do it all on my own, or I have tutors that teach me, right? If someone helped 500 people learn a language, do you think that I could learn faster with them? Yeah. Actually, the research shows you learn 4 times faster with a coach than without one. So, and that's across all fields: tennis, motorcycle, fucking fishing. Yeah. So it's in life, it's more of a game of how smart you work than how hard you work. Right. So if you're doing the right things, and you're improving, like, you're going to get better and you're going to get better results. So, yeah. Yeah, I would say maybe it's time to take like a break and reevaluate things, get some outside advice, even if it's from a friend. But yeah. And again, like, your question is tip of the iceberg. I can't see the full iceberg. So there's a great quote that when I read it, it just resonated so deep. It was like the good diagnosis precedes good treatment, right? If I have 1% of the information I need to give you, point you in the right direction, that's all I can give you. So that's why I do coaching. So I can be with you guys for months. Okay. Do you feel bad when a girl loves you so much, not knowing you're talking to multiple girls? Because I do sometimes. Yeah, well, I mean, most girls can tell that whether you are or not. Also, I think the higher status you become, it's like the better your game is, the higher your status is, the richer, cooler, funnier, the better looking you become. Everything combined, as you elevate as a man, is you become more centered, you become a better leader. Like, all of that stuff means that you get more choice. So you can think of like a pyramid. Bottom of the pyramid is 95% of the guys. Then there's like all girls. And then there's like the top 5% of guys. The top 5% of guys, women compete for them. Dude, one of the unspoken bad things about dating a lot of women is their hairs get everywhere, dude. You just pull hairs out of your socks. Like, the amount of hair that accumulates in your underwear. You close so quickly. How do you avoid false essay claims? I don't really. I take my time on dates. Like, I take girls out. I often take girls out for dinner. Like, I love just going to try new restaurants. So I can batch that process by taking girls out there too. Also, girls like to dress up. And it's just very natural to bond with people over food. But I can understand some people don't like to do that. I also like taking girls to cafes and doing fun things and doing photography days and whatever. But yeah, I don't really. I mean, I'd say like my average time to close is probably like 3 to 4 hours total. Probably like 3.5 hours. So like, it's not really that fast. And that's intentional. It's on purpose, because if I'm taking time to go out on a date with a girl, I want to ensure that everything goes well. And that doesn't mean just closing that night. That means like, I want to make sure she feels comfortable with me. Like, just generally, I want people to feel good around me, right? Just for its own sake, because that's just, I don't know. That's just my internal moral compass. But even just speaking strictly selfishly, you do want a girl to have a good time, because that's the best way to see her again. A woman's going to go in her body and feel like, how do I feel about this guy? So yeah, I wouldn't say I close super quickly, 3, 4, 5 hours sometimes. And then afterward, like if the girl's cool, like I don't mind a girl staying over. Um, and I help girls. I another thing I do, I fix girls' problems in their life. Like there's a Japanese girl I was seeing in Malaysia, and she was like, I went into her kitchen and there was like ants, and she's like, yeah, the only thing I hate about my house is just like I can't get rid of these ants. And so like I just heard that. I immediately went on my phone and like ordered like some ant traps and different things. Like one didn't work and like two worked, and then all the ants went away by the next time I went there. And she was like, "Thank you so much for that." So when I do things like that, it shows girls that I don't just put in the minimal effort to get laid, but I actually care about them as a person. I want to make them their lives better. Um, like the only bad thing that I would ever do to a girl is just not give her enough attention because I just can't, right? So like every girl that like I'll tell you about my ex. My ex has a reverse osmosis water filter. She has some new jewelry. She has like some great photos that I've taken of her. I took her through some self development courses. Um, like this girl gets so much out of being with me, and as you get more and more evidence of all the ways that you like change girls' lives and make their lives better, you become so much more confident because you realize that you not pushing for the close or you not leading this girl is going to mean that she doesn't get to experience all of that, right? So it's kind of how I think about it. Uh, Club promoters get the best results. Is this true? If you want to get, here's the thing. Ultimately, what matters is you have if you have a beautiful, awesome woman who's going to be loyal to you in the long run and give you children. Everything else really is kind of a distraction. There's some fun little milestones along the way, but like the goal of dating is to have children. That's why it exists. Why do you think that you're going after girls? Why do you think you desire girls? Why do you think you want sex? Sex to you means reproduction. So ultimately, if you want the best results, it depends what kind of time horizon you're talking about. If you're talking about short-term dating with just fun girls who like high stimulus environments, club promoting is probably the best in the world. I mean, I would say club promoting, club photographer, DJ, like those are all really good. If you want more long-term success, that probably wouldn't be the best, right? If you want to attract the highest quality woman in terms of not just looks, but also like inner qualities, personality, intelligence, virtue, this type of stuff, I don't think meeting girls in those type of environments is the best on average, but it can be good. Like, dude, I did some like deep research on this. 50% of women ages like 18 to like 30 have been to a nightlife environment in the past year. So like this whole idea that like you can't meet good girls in those environments is false. And if you guys have left the house and you've asked girls like what they're out for, oftentimes you'll hear, it's my friend's birthday. Oh, my friend's getting married. Yeah, like girls get dragged out by their friends. Not every girl goes out because they're like, I'm going out because I'm a whore and I want to be doing whore shit in a fucking nightclub and doing cocaine and sucking dick in the bathroom. Like a lot of girls are just normal girls that they want to fuck like maybe 5 guys, 10 guys, and then find a great guy and then settle down. Like that's most girls and most guys like timeline or like what they want out of dating are largely similar. Like women want to bang a couple guys and then find a guy that they like and get into a relationship. Guys want to bang a few girls, find a girl that they like, and get into a relationship. So, anyway, yeah, get the best results. That all depends on what you define as the best results. Dude, I'm starting to sound like fucking Jordan Peterson. Well, it all depends on what the meaning of best results is. It's like the whole tale of the dragon. When the dragon gets the best results, it's because it's flaying the fire. So, dude, I'm turning into Jordan Peterson. But it does depend on the what is the best results. So it all depends on what the definition of is. But yeah, it depends on what best results is. Short term, it's fun. Long term, probably not. Like, do you think like ultimately think about this? What is going to give a woman's genes the best case scenario for reproducing? Right? That's basically what her brain is solving for. Now, the thing that club promoters have in excess is pre-selection, right? It's one of the human biases is like, bandwagon effect. Other people like this thing. I should like it too, right? There's a lemming. Yeah. The lobster. There's a lemming-like effect in a lot of humans where we see other people liking something, so we like it. So, and that's, how a lot of female attraction works too. And the funny thing is, it's not, people think that it's like pre-selection is just seeing you in real life with girls. No, it can also be photos. It can also be girls' voice in the background. You can get really subtle with this. A girl's hand, what else? The way that you come across. Any girl I talk to knows that I fuck, right? I can't go up to a girl like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, what's your name? Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been there. Da, da, da. Oh, whatever. I just talk to them. And I'm talking out loud. I'm using my expressions, No girl I talk to is like, wow, this guy's a virgin. They're all just like, damn, this guy like probably slays some serious puss. Well, maybe not that. That's a bit self-aggrandizing. But I'd say most girls know that I fuck, right? How do they know that? My tonality, my expressions. Other guys, they know that they've dated. They can piece it together. It's the same way like if you meet a girl, you can tell if a girl is like a bit of a whore, right? Anyway, it's kind of good to be a guy because like you have more leniency for being a whore. Man, it is really sad. Like I feel like a lot of girls, like the more guys they sleep with, it does kind of eat away at them. It's kind of cool. Some girls, I feel like it doesn't, but that's the minority. Like I think we're literally just wired a certain way, and I think, yeah, high body counts of women, it's just not. It does chip away at them. Like you start to see, just makes them like less appealing, more jaded, like just more masculine, weird. I don't know. Which niche do you think is better for money? I am not a money channel. All I talk about is dating and relationships. Totally agree. I left Cold Report Space for the same reasons. I read Steven Pinker's book. Steven Pinker, the Jeffrey Epstein guy. Dude, what a horrible person to be associated with in any way. It's like even people are like in emails where like I think Jeffrey Epstein's like reaching out to them and people are like, why are you in those emails? It's like, man, this kind of sucks. Like I think Brian Johnson, his team like set up like a Zoom call with Jeffrey Epstein. Brian Johnson's the longevity guy. And like he did like one Zoom call with him and apparently like turned it off halfway. And even that's like, oh shit, like he has like thousands of people asking about the Jeffrey Epstein thing. It's like, god damn, dude. This is all, by the way, it's called the association bias. How do you keep track of all this information applying between the health, psychology, online dating, cold approach, social, like it can feel overwhelming. I put everything in a Notion and I write. So if you listen to things and it makes sense to you, like even just listening to me right now, if something makes sense to you, write it down. Like it'll stick in your brain more, just the act of writing it down. And then you can also look it up afterward. Like in my Notion, I just hit Command P. I search anything that I've ever written down, and it just instantly comes up. So that's how I keep track of it. It's called Notion. It's an app. Also, Summer's pick on motivation videos, greatest YouTube video ever created. Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's what I don't like. Just creating. There's a lot of content on the internet that's just kind of like slop, and I just want to create good content. Like I want to look back on my channel and think, damn, that was a banger, right? And if that makes me make half as much money in the long run, so be it. I don't care. Like imagine you have more money, but you like literally just polluted the internet with like thousands of YouTube shorts that are just like mid. Like what is the purpose of that? It's like, oh, I generated 2% more money, but it's like, what? Cool. How do you keep track of all the okay? POA say you should come across like a casual player so they don't put you in a boyfriend track. But when I do that, they usually reject or ghost when I signal I don't want something long term. So here's the thing. I can't really answer this because it really depends on who you are. Like, I mean, even when I'm casual with girls, they still want me. So yeah, it's something you're doing. So I don't know who you are. Okay, this guy says, Austen, I have bad digestion. How can I just show this in the screen in the chat, dude? Am I a boomer? Here's my options. Channel activity, go to channel, replace pin message, report, remove, put user time at hide user on channel, add as a moderator. I really wish there was a way to just show it. Engage with your audience. Oh, you know what? Here, let's see. Start a Q&A. Ask questions here. Let's see. Start Q&A. Questions list. Okay, cool. Okay, I think if I hit the questions. So I don't know if you guys will see this questions thing, but that'd be cool. I should just like create something every day, even if it's just editing or doing live streams, so I get in the flow. It's really hard, dude. I'm doing so many things in my life right now. It's like overwhelming. Okay. Reverse osmosis water filter gain, just checking in. Yeah, dude. Now I live in Europe. I don't even need it because, well, if you guys don't know this, the water in the US is filtered through reverse osmosis before it gets to your house. But I think there's just like so much stuff in the, I don't even know. Because the way they do it, they put calcium in it and then the calcium crusts around the tube. So you ever see these things? It's like, this is what the tap water looks like coming to your house, and it looks like disgusting. Well, that's because it's literally it's forming a calcium layer in the tube as it comes to your house, so that way it doesn't like interact with the pipe. But anyway, yeah, it's definitely necessary in the U.S. and probably definitely like other countries. Mexico water fucking sucks. How to use these skills to find high value friends, for example, people that are really good with business, been in the game too long, all my friends are PUAs. Yeah, I just say get into business and then just be good at networking. Like your business skills. Oh, who's the person who said I have bad digestion? Austen, I have bad digestion. Tell me exactly what you ate today. Tell me exactly what you ate today, because that's a window into your entire diet. Like the whole thing, like I have bad digestion. You know, your digestion should just work. You shouldn't even have to think about it. Digestion just happens. This is like, there's like these vegan videos. They'll be like, here's what I eat in a day to improve my digestion. It's like, no, digestion just happens. You don't need to eat specific things to digest. Your stomach does the digestion, then goes through your like intestines, and they reconstitute nutrients and water and stuff. So you don't need that. Okay. What is considered a range of low body count? I mean, it's a debate, but I'd say anything above like 10 is pretty bad. And it's kind of funny how it took me so long to realize this. It's like, this is actually one of the things that differs culturally is like the acceptability of the body count. But over time, you realize that a lot of like the principles of like ancient civilizations were actually correct. Like in ancient civilizations, you wanted a virgin, right? You wanted a strong society. You emphasize like strength and beauty and like you ever see these videos like reconstructing ancient Rome and you want to cry? Like if you guys after this video go and watch AI reconstruction of ancient Rome and you just see like beautiful buildings and sculptures and gardens and like who the fuck wants to live in an ugly shithole with like loud cars and like gray buildings and like nowhere to walk and like you have to drive everywhere and there's giant weird signs everywhere. It fucking sucks. Um so yeah. Anyway, yeah, but anyway, ancient societies had a lot of things right with women. And the funny thing too is like women th- women think that they want the freedoms of modern society when in reality it actually harms them and it makes their lives worse and actually decreases their like here's one of the interesting things. Feminism pushed for women having access to the same jobs as men, right? Which you can argue is a good thing, but think about this. If the goal of life is to pass on your genes, right? It's maybe not the only goal, but it's the largest goal, right? That's literally why you are the way you are, is because you are a vehicle to pass on your genes. So if that's true, and feminism pushes women to get not only degrees, but advanced degrees, and they're in school until they're fucking 26, 27, then they move to a big city, and then they, date around some more, and then they try to settle on a guy when they're 34, and then they don't want kids yet because they gotta work, and then they try to have kids when they're 38, but then they can't anymore. It's like feminism literally prevented the pregnancy of that woman and made her genetic lineage vanish. So when you think about it in like an evolutionary terms, it doesn't really make sense. And it is really sad that like life is so short. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if we lived to like 300 and we aged like every 4 years was only aging like 1 year we are now? And, everyone could have cool jobs and then like you take off 20 years for having kids and like go back to work. Like, wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be cool. But that's not the world we live in. And unfortunately, like a lot of like women's prime is essentially like 22, right? Like I honestly think if you were to put a gun in my mouth and say what's the best age to date women, I would probably say 22. They are, they still have like the youth and the femininity and their beauty's peaked. Women, I feel like don't peak before that. They suck at their fashion, their makeup, their grooming. Their also think about this in the gym to compound gains in the gym. You need time. So like their bodies are the best. Like they also have more personality. They know more who they are. I think 22 is literally like the optimal age. Um, that's when they should be locking down a man, not like thinking about like master's degrees and like one of the girls that I love. I love this girl. Like even just as a person, like this girl's so awesome. She lives in New Zealand now. I've known this girl for like how long? 12 years. I took her virginity when she was 18, and then we've seen each other off and on for 12 years. And she's telling me I can pull up messages right now. This was a while ago. Let's see, like a few months ago. But she said, well, here you go. I can show you this. And you can see, just show her some Instagram pictures of me for more. Um, let's see what else. I want to experience an Austen threesome, right? It's like I'm almost torn because I'm like, this girl should be literally having kids right now. This girl is like beautiful. She is one of the best people I've ever met. She's so sweet. She's so caring. She's so awesome. She's fun to be around. She cares about the right things in life. And she's just cool. She's just like a cool person, a great person to be around. But she's getting like distracted from like locking down a man. Like she did have a relationship for like 7 years or something, 8 years, and got out of it. Now she's dating again. Like I can understand that she's like making up for lost time in a way because she wants to like have some fun experiences she didn't get to have. It's like if I have a threesome with her, I'm just distracting her from her ultimate goal of finding a man to lock down. So it's just kind of unfortunate, right? But it's just the reality. So yeah. Anyway, PDRT is cooked, dude. Holy fuck, bro. Can you imagine? Like this is why like having a moral compass is good. Can you imagine the world's most infamous pedophile is doing horrific things, pulling strings, like getting people into these weird situations. And then you're the medical advisor for him, trying to help him live longer and be healthier so he can fuck more. It's like not. I think where he got into it was that he was like, damn, this guy's like the ultimate networker. He's networking with like Bill Clinton and Donald Trump and fucking he's networking with all these powerful, rich, successful men, which is Peter Attia's clientele because Peter Attia is like a concierge medical person. So like he does all these like little things, but it's really just marketing. His main thing is he charges people like 150 to 300K a year, from what I've heard, to be their like one-on-one kind of like medical advisor. So I can see the appeal of doing that, but like the lack of integrity is, I think, what is just fucked about it. So yeah, like follow your moral instincts in life, because things like this, this is never going to happen to pretty much anyone ever again. But like, holy fuck. I mean, maybe it will, but this is like a once in 100 years type of like crazy fucked up scandal. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's more common than I think. I don't emphasize qualification. Yes, I do. The thing is, qualification naturally happens when you have standards. Like if you're just qualifying, I mean, a little bit of qualifying can come off fun, like you're almost like teasing a girl a bit. But like, no, if you watch my game, I do this all the time. I'll disqualify, I'll qualify. I mean, it's just a natural part of human communication when you have standards. Okay. Does short-term body count versus one night stand body count matter, or are they all the same? I don't know. Keep in mind, like everyone has like different opinions on this. My personal opinion, I would prefer a girl who had 2 relationships. Like this is literally ideal for me. I meet a girl who's had 2 relationships with guys that are not as cool as me. And that way the girl has some sexual experience. Like I don't have to teach her how to give a hand job or like whatever. And she knows how to treat a man. She knows how to like be sweet. She knows these things. And that way, when I'm with her, like I don't have to use like, a year or 2 teaching her all these things. And also, she doesn't feel like she's missing out. When she's been with a couple guys before me, and then she has friends that have slept around a bit, she's not really caring that she's not fucking other guys when she's with me, because she's already done a little bit of that. And so I think that there's some study that kind of put this idea in my mind originally. And it was like, I think it was like virgins are more likely to cheat in a relationship than of people that have had like two partners or something like this. Something like this. I can't quote the exact study, but it made sense to me at the time, and that's kind of what stuck in my head. And I kind of agree with it too. Like, there is an appeal to virginity, right? But I don't know, man. I don't want to deal with virgins. there's like an old Robin Williams quote. He's like, the hijackers of the 9/11, they thought that they would get 72 virgins when they went to heaven. And he was like, have they ever been around a virgin? It's fucking awkward. Like, he's like, I would rather have like 72 fire breathing whores that would do anything I want, So I don't know. I'm more of like, I lean toward the virginity side. And keep in mind, like, a high body count can just mean that you just like sex and that you're open-minded, you have a high openness to experience, low conscientiousness, etc. But it can also mean that you have an intimacy disorder. It could also mean that you have childhood sexual abuse. So like, a lot of the things are not super great that it conveys. Some guy said he's from Puerto Rico. His English is broken. Yeah, just improve your English, bro. Like, any language that I learn, I'm trying to improve my accent in it because it just makes you feel like more of the tribe. So like, I'm currently in a foreign country and I'm on my way to get citizenship here. And, the first thing I did, I mean, it is kind of a shame. Like, with English, I think a lot of people speak English before. So basically, the optimal way to learn a foreign language, you have a listening stage. So you spend like 2 weeks to a month just listening. And that kind of trains your ear. And then when you start speaking, you already have that month of listening practice. So that way your accent is better. Like, sometimes I'll speak the language I'm learning and people will say like, oh, you sound like your accent's really good. Like, you sound like a local. Guys that are so fixated on a girl's body count usually have trouble getting girls to begin with and are being overly selective when they're not even high value enough to be so, in my opinion. That's very accurate. Yes. Yeah, and it's almost like, what is it called? When you have a fear of something, like, I respect the fuck out of my students who, some students come on immersion having only approached a couple girls that they had to do in the pre-immersion training. And it's like, they're facing their fears head on. They're not trying to sugarcoat it. They're not trying to like make up stories to tell themselves why they shouldn't talk to girls. They are facing it head on, and they're reducing their fear. They're getting a better relationship with their anxiety, and they're getting a better relationship with overcoming it and finding a way to overcome it. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for that, because so many people, and I will say so many, the majority of men on planet Earth are creating stories to tell themselves why they can't approach, why they shouldn't, and creating extra barriers just to kind of appease their ego, to make themselves feel like they're not missing out, or that it's a waste of time, right? So, yeah, you're pretty spot on with that. Yeah, and you only really, like you said, most guys get what they can get, right? It's only when the way to increase your results is SMV times gain times volume. If you increase your SMV, which means your looks, money, status, if you increase that, you have access to more girls that meet your maybe or yes category, right? If a girl looks at you, girls usually operate in 3 categories. They look at you, they say, fuck yes, maybe, or fuck no. So if you get more into the maybe and the yeses, game gets easier. Then you multiply SMV times game. Your game is your ability to convert opportunities, right? So it's your game qualities and your funnel efficiency. And also, game in and of itself makes you more attractive. What's more attractive? A guy who can lead, who has charisma, who can crack jokes, who can banter, who's socially attuned, or a guy that stays in his mom's basement, obviously. The guy that's doing all those things. And then the last thing is quantity of approaches that you're doing online and in person, so volume. So SMV times game times volume. And if you multiply all that together, if you max out those categories the best you can, then you get the best results, right? Will Kevin McDaddy ever make a comeback on YouTube? I don't think so, dude. I don't really know what happened to him, but I hope he's okay. I tried reaching out to him a while back and did not get any response. But yeah, he was like one of my best, he was my best wingman of all time. And he was a great friend. But sometimes you drift apart or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of sad, dude. I really liked his content. He had like a very fun personality. Your and Vadim's old videos helped me a lot in my early 20s. Hope you guys are still cool. Yeah, we actually we talked for a while. We talked for like a few hours, like the couple months ago. How come the new generation of pickup guys doing vids are not as good? I honestly think a lot of it is that, think of kind of like, like the Library of Alexandria that was like burned down or something. It's kind of like that. The YouTube in 2018 got rid of 500 pickup channels. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Because of that, a lot of the other pickup channels that didn't get cut, that used to be really good, started moderating what they said. They started getting really scared. Even now, like one of the main guys in this industry has told me specifically one-on-one to really monitor my stuff, because you can express yourself when Trump's in office. Now, what the fuck happens when he's out of office? Democrats are in charge and they start monitoring your speech more. The fucking like the woke stuff comes back and they start like anyone that talks about heterosexuality and like dating and having a relationship with a woman starts getting attacked. What happens then? He's like, you better fucking watch it, dude. Like putting up to this guy, putting up infield is scary and potentially can destroy your whole channel. And when you think about it, a lot of dating coaches, their YouTube is their income. YouTube is how I make money, right? YouTube is my entire marketing source pretty much. So if I get fucked on YouTube, that's like, a lot of my, my income would go down, right? So, I mean, I've been quite safe. Like there's so many guys these days that are like putting up like these clips of girls not blurring their faces, not muting privacy things. Like that is just asking for trouble. And in 2 years, they're going to get fucking wiped out, dude. But I think, so it's a combination of they didn't have the resources that I had, because back in the day, to be honest, when I was learning, there wasn't that much good stuff on YouTube. You had to like go to paid events and you had to buy courses. Then I feel like almost like the golden era of pickup on YouTube was like maybe 2014 to like 2017. And then 2018, 2019, like hundreds of channels were wiped out in like a week span. And it's all coordinated. Like they do like the media article, then they blow it up, then they do the sweep. So it's kind of similar to like how like the Iran stuff. It's like Israel is in our government telling us to basically like fight their wars for them. So um, what they do is they start putting the news, all this stuff about Iran, 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 and then they prepare you for the takeover. Same thing with the Venezuela stuff. All that's like just a U.S. thing, but it's like, oh, the drug boats, the drug boats, the drug boats, Venezuela, you better watch it, blah blah blah, and then they kind of prepare the public a little bit before doing the intervention. It's kind of similar to like how the pickup industry works. Um, but yeah, I feel like they just didn't have as good of a resources as I did. So, and there's also not like back in the day, it was pretty much like the whole thing was like you had the way to learn game was like you get a mentor, and then if you're good enough, then you become like a coach at that company. That was like the thing. And now everything's so like individualistic. I honestly kind of hate it. I would love to just create a company, have like, 5 awesome coaches, and then we do like group events. We do like, fucking what's it called? Like live events with like 500 people and like, do stuff like that. I think that'd be awesome. And then just like always like cross promote each other's channels. But things have just gotten so like splintered, and like also I think like the online coaching stuff is just the it's become kind of like it's found its format, right? Until like 2019, the mentorship model online wasn't even a thing. It was like kind of a new invention, which is course community calls. That's kind of a new thing. That's only been around for 7 years. And now they have like a platform like School that does everything in one. SKOOL, School. So yeah, it's like easier to do it yourself. Back in the day, you used to like, dude, I cannot explain to you guys how complex making video courses and stuff like that was just 10 years ago. Like, dude, there's like these different plugins and like coding, and like you have to hire developers, and like it's like, dude, it was a nightmare. Um, yeah, so it was like to have a company that you worked for that figured that stuff out, and then you were just a coach for it. That was actually kind of like good. And not many people could do that. So like really it's kind of like a survivorship bias almost. It's like only the smartest, best people could coach really. Then you had like obviously there was always like low tier coaches back then, but most of them didn't make much money because it's harder to make money back then. Like you would just you'd see these guys come in the space for 3 months to try to make money, and they just leave. Like most people that come into the space for dating coaching leave in a couple of years. Like you'll never see them again. Like I've just seen like hundreds of coaches come and go. They just, I think because most of them, they're just looking for a way to like have an income source. And then they realize like dating coaching, unless you're like supremely intelligent or unique or whatever, you're just going to be like a brokey. Like I was just talking about this with my friend. Like, what do you think like the number 274th real estate agent in America makes? And we both were like, yeah, he probably makes like $50 million a year or something. Like, what do you think the number 274th dating coach makes? And we were both like, yeah, he probably lives at home like with his mom. There's not that much money. So uh have you ever done Facebook ads for recruiting students? I've never done any ads for recruiting students. I've only done ads for meeting girls. Yeah, I think my brain's kind of shutting down. It's 4 a.m. Holy fuck, dude. I'm cooked. Why do you think the pickup community is dying and other more toxic ones like Red Pill and MGTOW are gaining more strength? It's a bit concerning, and I don't want to sound conspiratorial. Um, I don't know. Is the POA community dying? What metric are you basing that on? These things are like so amorphous too. It's like, what is POA? What is Red Pill? What is MGTOW? Like, I haven't heard anyone describe themselves as a MGTOW. The thing that's becoming more popular than MGTOW would be the looks maxing, which, to be fair, I'm a bigger fan of looks maxing than I am. Like, I don't like black pill because black pill is essentially fucking pussy. It's just like, life's hard. I'm just gonna give up. Meh. It's not in the cards for me. I give up. I like the looks maxing thing because it's like, at least they're proactive and they're like doing things to enhance their appearance, right? And they're getting like strategic about it. Like, I don't like basic looks maxing, everyone should be doing anyway. Like, you should be grooming yourself. You should be getting a haircut. You should be getting glasses that work for your face. You should be getting nice clothes. What else? You should be hitting the gym. You should be eating healthy so your skin has a natural glow to it. You don't have acne. You're not fat. Like, all the basic looks maxing stuff, like everyone should be doing anyway. I mean, what is the new stuff? The new stuff is mainly surgeries, peptides, and drugs, both legal and illegal, to enhance your appearance, which more is a mixed bag. But yeah, but like the basic looks maxing stuff, I feel like most people don't have an issue with that. I mean, it just makes sense. Yeah. Okay. It's so funny too, like the difference between communities where it's just men talking to other men versus communities where, like, men talk to women. Like, when you talk to women, you can see what they respond to. You can see what you can even ask them questions. You can, crazy concept, you can interact with them. There's a range of girls have different value systems. Women are essentially like men too. We have an algorithm in our brain that's deciding who to approach, who to date, who to marry, etc. And there's different qualities. Can you believe that? Women actually want more than one thing. Crazy. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I would say also in general, I feel like I would actually say it's partially the partial. I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons. One, there was like the huge Me Too movement. There was like the woke stuff that made like shamed men and made them like want to, like, literally the inherent qualities of being a man were being targeted. And by the way, that's on purpose. There's groups that fund this stuff because they want Western societies to fail. I'm not going to go too on the nose with that, but yeah, there's stuff like that. So they increased the fear of approaching. So the consequences, right? Confidence is what? Competence and lack of perceived risk. So if the perceived risk goes through the roof, I could be charged with things. Girls are going to be mean to me. Girls are going to reject me. And then the competence goes down. Men are generally less competent now, fewer degrees, make less in proportion to women. What else? But the other thing I was going to throw in there was social media has destroyed our dopamine systems, especially short-term video. What was it? Short form video. Like, how do you think I got to the level I am at guitar or pickup? Do you think I got there trying to do easy stuff? Oh, just give me the easy hack. No, I got there through really falling in love with the process of doing it so that I did it enough. Is my camera about to die? No, it's actually being charged by makeable. That's fucking sick. Um, but yeah, so I think that it's like men are less capable and competent in general. It's also, short form video and also porn have like destroyed our dopamine system. So we don't get as many dopamine kicks from like accomplishing like smaller goals. We just want things faster. And then, um, the pain, like what's it called? The pain of achieving, what's it called? Competence, lack of perceived risk. The perceived risk of doing the activity increased. And then also add on to that, a lot of the best information in this space has been wiped from YouTube. So like you have a bunch of dopamine fucked men with not that much information to go off of. That's good. And then you have like the woke feminist mob making every guy like more afraid to approach. It's like, it's no wonder. Yeah, you said, but looks masters don't emphasize improving their social skills or frame control. It's either girls like your looks and want you, or they don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, if you guys want the real answers, you come to me. But yeah, I mean, most of them are just so young that they don't really know any better, and nature has the last laugh, right? So they'll learn over time. But yeah, it is kind of like a testament to how far um, confirmation bias can go. Like when there's so many, like when there's so much counter evidence and there's so many counter examples, you could just look at that. But the thing is, with the selective filter of your brain, you basically don't pay attention to things that you're not focused on, right? It's like the red tennis ball thing, right? Like, okay, everyone here, think about a red tennis ball. Okay, you ever got a picture of a red tennis ball in your mind? All right, now don't think about the red tennis ball. Just take the red tennis ball out of your mind, right? It's kind of hard. This is called, that's actually not what I'm getting tired. That's actually called ironic processing theory. But the thing I was talking about is confirmation bias. It's like, that being like, find like everything white in your room. It's like, okay, white water bottle, white page, bowls, cabinet, light. And then like, now find everything. And now what was blue? It's like you weren't focused on the things that were blue, so it didn't come to your mind. So that's how confirmation bias works. So if you see like, oh, this good looking guy got this, so therefore looks is the driver of it. Well, it's partially responsible for sure. Anyone that disagrees with that would be, silly. But the interesting thing is that women have 6 adaptive problems they're solving for. And yeah, I mean, one of them is, health. So if you have a lot of health markers, that are good, you have high testosterone, you have good, decent muscle mass, you're tall, you're handsome, pretty lean. All those things are pluses. But women also want a man that has access to resources, who's willing to give those resources and share them with her. A man who has similar values, a man who is confident, sure of himself, who knows how to lead, a man who knows how to get that pussy wet. Like, there's other things that women are solving for than just looks. So, yeah. Yeah, not to mention, like, I will say the looks maxing thing is cool, but there are diminishing returns past a certain point. Like, you get jacked, honestly, I mean, there is pretty substantial things you could do. Like, if you guys ever watched my black belt video, you see like no muscle compared to like 3 years of lifting. You also see acne to no acne. maybe some other ones, fashion and grooming, whatever. But like that's, most guys are not even optimizing that. So like optimizing that realistically puts you like at least a point ahead or like two, right? But I think past that, then there's just kind of diminishing returns. It's like, there's only so much you can do. So then it becomes a thing of like, there's this concept of efficient frontier, right? It's like a slope, right? It's like if you've reached the 95th percent of what you could possibly look as good as, then doing an extra 5% there doesn't really result in much. However, getting from 10% of your potential in cold approach to 95% potential, that like maxes out two of the categories that give you results, right? So it's SMV, game, volume. If your game's fucking amazing and you're running high volume, you will find the girls that resonate with you, right? And that like you. So, and like I said, women have different value systems. Some girls care more about looks, but yeah, you'll see from experience, like a lot of the guys that are good looking get reached out to by like aggressive sixes that just kind of like go after them. And this guy's a legend. I don't want to put him on blast, but like what's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger, like his wife, she's not like the most good looking girl in the world. Like, so, I mean, he was at one point probably the best looking. I mean, I think even to this day, people say he had like the best lifting body genetics of like all time. And yeah, his wife just looks kind of weird. So, I mean, I don't want to shame him for that. I'm just saying, like, it's an example of this guy is the best looking person on the planet at one point, who is a celebrity movie actor and later politician. And, there's kind of like, yeah, like what is he using it for? Anyway, do white girl like Indian boys? In general, no. So I think I'm going to make a video about this for my course. I might put it on YouTube. I don't know. I'll have to look how it comes across, but like generally there's a lot of things going against Indian guys, especially when they come to the West. Like if you're in India and girls are traveling there and they like Indian guys and you approach them in a calm, confident way where they feel comfortable, you don't like surround them creepily, then you could probably get results. The thing is, like, there's so many things working against indie guys in the West that it's kind of like overwhelming. First is accent. I cannot express how important it would be to get your accent reduced. Like, it is just like, girls don't like the accent. So you got to do accent reduction. The other thing is, I mean, I have some Indian Chad students, to be honest. And ultimately, it was kind of funny. It's like, even Indian guys that ultimately get, like, they bang a couple of girls of like Latinas, some white girls, whatever. They ultimately settle with like a Indian girl because it's just like cultural compatibility and it just feels right. Like, yeah. Anyway, but in general, no. White girls don't like any guys, but I mean, that's just the generality. I mean, I don't really care if you break the exception, go for it. But it's like saying, like, people say this thing like, like Japanese are like xenophobic and they don't like foreigners. Like, okay, I've dated some Japanese girls. Maybe they were the exceptions. There's some Japanese girls you approach. Like, I would approach girls, Japanese girls, like in Canada or like the US. And, if you approach them, sometimes they just go like this and they run away. And then some Japanese girls you approach, will be receptive. So, it's just kind of a law of averages thing. But yeah, there's a lot working against Indian guys. Looks, height, income, at least not in the US. Typically, if you get to the US, you're selected, right? You're like cream of the crop Indian that makes it to the US. But it's cultural. It's like it almost feels like there's like this a level of cultural autism that exists in India that uh it's like it's just kind of weird to the rest of the world. Then there's like hygiene and smell. And that comes down to honestly, it comes down mostly down to different spices in the food. Like if I eat those spices, I smell bad. So it's like changing your diet. Then there's like the Indian gut thing where it's like because the food is largely um, low in protein, high in carbs, and industrial seed oils, like you just get this like horrible gut. And you get a lot of like, because it's a combination of higher body fat, lower muscle mass, and also like uh, gut dysbiosis and like gut health issues that cause also part of the bad smell and also cause the stomach to bulge a bit more. Um, but dude, I have Indian students do well. I mean, they just fucking there's just more to fix, more problems to address. Um, what else? I mean, those are the main things. Maybe style a bit, like the flip flops got to go. Um, yeah, and then just like cultural, uh, this the cultural difference is just so vast that like it's going to be really difficult to form something long term. But uh, why are you so against seed oils? There's no evidence that they are unhealthy. Uh, well, the cool thing is we have science, so you can actually go read some papers. Uh, when you heat seed oils aren't bad if they are not heated. When you heat them, they get really bad. But the other thing is, I mean, they are just bad straight up. They're not something that your body would even eat naturally. You're just not you're not meant to process like 47,000 kernels of uh, rapeseed. you know, um, yeah. The other thing is this argument is so stupid for so many reasons. It's like people say this about like diet soda. They're like, dude, diet soda is good. It helps you lose weight. It's like, you know what else helps you lose weight? Water. Like, why is spending more money to buy something that could potentially be bad for me and also has bubbles in it, which will fuck up your tooth enamel and make it more sensitive, and it costs money? Why does that make sense to do? It doesn't. So I just drink water. Like I don't know. Maybe I just don't get what like I like logic. Okay, there's no reason to consume them. Why would I consume? Here's an example. Uh, Canola oil, which is rapeseed oil, was not even able to be consumed by cattle until like 1970s when they found out how to remove the erucic acid from it. So why would I take a risk? Because I think now it's like down to 2% erucic acid or something like this. Why would I risk that? First of all, heating it is really bad. You shouldn't heat it. So I can't cook with it. So what the fuck is the point? What am I going to drizzle fucking seed oil over a fucking salad? It tastes like shit. It gives me a headache. Why the fuck am I going to eat it? Like, you know what doesn't give me a headache? You know what makes me feel pretty good? Olive oil. No one fucking literally zero health people advocate consuming a lot of seed oils. Like the vegan space, what is it? Olive oil, avocado oil. Olive oil would be better. And then in the, uh, more paleo or animal based space, it'd be like butter, beef tallow, even olive oil. It's like, why would I not stick to the fats that have been consumed for, you know, since before we were even human? Do you think maybe your body, do you think, here's another one. The amount of knowledge we have about nutrition is really limited. Okay. There needs to be thousands, millions of new studies done for us to have like a profound understanding of nutrition. So, given that state of ignorance, it makes sense to default to things that we have done and been proven to be like largely good for us for millennia. We literally evolved to consume high amounts of fat. So, like, why would I not eat the fat that my body has been digesting, and like my ancestors have been digesting since before we were even human? Right? Could there potentially be some components of this stuff that we don't know the long-term effects of? Yeah. So yeah, that's why. Also, I mean, just knowing the history of seed oils is kind of interesting. It's like it was used to lubricate like ships and machines during World War II. That's why literally it was grown so much, the rapeseed at least. Actually, the first seed oil was cottonseed oil. And it literally was like, how do we use this waste product to make some money out of it? And they're like, well, let's try to feed it to people. And they're like, oh, well, it kills people. They're like, well, let's figure out a way. And then they found out a way, and that's how they made cottonseed oil, which is called Crisco in the US. So yeah, I'm good on that. I'd rather just eat things that have been proven to be healthy over the course of like millions of years, as opposed to gambling with something that wasn't even edible until 50 years ago. That sounds fucking retarded. Also, it gives me a fucking headache. Like, I'll literally eat something thinking it's just cooked in like butter or something. And then I start getting a headache. And I'm like, excuse me, can you go ask the chef what this is cooked in? And they'll come back and they're like, oh yeah, it's like soybean oil. And I'm like, thanks, fucking fag. Um, like this guy says, can cold approach helps a Indian boy to date a white girl? Like, you can't even form a sentence. Like, you have bigger problems to deal with, sir. Can cold approach help an Indian boy? Also, are you a boy or are you a man? So you say man or guy to date a white girl. This is such an interesting thing too. It's like, I don't know. I guess maybe this come from like being colonized by the British or something, but like also it almost seems like most races like to date within their race except for Indians. They're like, it's so weird too, because it's like most of them end up with Indian girls, but then there's like this weird desire to only bang white girls. It's like kind of weird. Like, when I was learning game, I was like, oh, like I want to, date some Indian girls, date some Asian girls, date some Latinas, date some white girls. Like, I was just like, I want to date everyone, but it's like this: I must date a white girl to feel enough in my life. It's like, what? I don't know. This is weird. It's kind of like the opposite of appreciating your culture. But hey, it is what it is. If you like it, you like it. But like, dude, you also have like an IQ issue. Like, your question makes no sense. Can cold approach, like, it's like saying, hey, would approaching a girl that I want to talk to improve my chances of dating her? What do you think? You're asking a question that's fucking retarded. Like, you got bigger fish to fry, my friend. You got grammar and IQ to deal with before you get into dating. Where have you been? We need more videos on YouTube. Where have I been? Oh, yeah, I've just been moving to Europe. Austen kills me when we read these questions. All right, yeah, it's clear I'm getting grumpy. Holy fuck, dude. How do I jump on for a quick live stream and it's 2.5 hours later and it's 4:30 in the morning? Uh, all right, I'm gonna go sleep. All right, later, guys. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. There's 35 of you guys watching. Everyone smash the fucking like button. Let's get these likes up to at least 30. And then that'll help the algorithm and help people to not die alone. Yeah, I'll say this other thing. Another thing I've been thinking about is like the long-term consequences, like the really long-term effects of dating. And what it is, it's the creation of society and culture and nations. So ultimately, you do play a huge role in I mean, you play a small part in a huge, like the most important thing in the world, which is creating the next generation. Like you guys realize that dating is just a period of your life where you meet a girl and then you can reproduce with her, you have a family, and then you can instill better values into your children that make society better in the long run. So I think that's like one of the best things you could do is have kids, raise them right, and like you literally make society better. And most of the guys that watch my channel, it's like they're great guys, they're just a little bit shy, or they had 4 years of engineering school and then now they can't, it's struggle to talk to girls. And like also modern society is just very alienating and atomizing. So I'm glad that I can help you guys, reach out to girls, meet girls, and ultimately have great relationships, create a great family, and then, make society better in the long run. So, yeah. Cool. All right. Later, guys.